Hello, everyone. Welcome back to First Listen Media. Today we have the band known as Waiver Wire. What's up, guys?
Hey,
How you doing, man? Thanks for having us.
Dude, thanks for being here. Thanks for reaching out.
Absolutely.
So, where did this band begin?
This band began pushing, I think, 4 years ago almost. Started the band with a couple of friends. We've been through a lot of lineup changes and stuff over the years, but we've soldiered on. And so we're kind of this new music that we're dropping is kind of new stuff from new group of people and a little bit of a new direction we're really excited about.
All right.
Yeah, I'm actually the new member.
Huh.
2 months now, 2 or 3 months.
Something like that.
All right. What inspired the band name?
The band name, I mean, we just kept throwing band names out, and it's hard to get four guys to agree on something to all like the same thing. And so we just kept throwing things out, and somebody threw that out, and it just kind of sounded good, and we liked it. It's a sports term. It's like the list of free agents that are available for teams to sign is referred to as the waiver wire. I'm a big sports guy, so it kind of resonated with me. And it's just, I don't know, we just like the sound of it. It's got a good ring to it.
All right. I mean, hey, whatever works, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's see. Describe your sound.
Ooh, that's difficult. Why don't you want to try to take that, Steve, since you're freshest to the sound? I'm tired of trying to explain what we sound like because I really don't know how to do it.
I mean, the genre is pretty much pop punk, which is stuff that came out of the '90s, bands like Blink 182 and Sum 41 and that kind of stuff. To skater, punk, rock, whatever style that came out of earlier bands too, like Green Day, even and Offspring. And since then, it's evolved into its own genre, and Josh just shows me all these bands all the time that like have that sound. And we just try to do something along those lines, but also put in our own influences. We all come from different musical backgrounds. I myself is a metal guy, so maybe some of that creeps into some of the newer arrangements. But yeah, that's basically just the foundation is a kind of a pop punk sound inspired by that stuff. But Josh, do you have anything you want to add to that?
And you pretty much, like, it's definitely inspired by the old school pop punk sound, but like you said, we try to kind of put our own spin on it as anybody does. So I don't know. I've heard some people describe it as like that '90s, early 2000s Blink sound. I've heard other people say that we sound a lot more like the newer style of pop punk, and it kind of the opinions vary. So I don't know. We're a pop punk band, and for whatever that means.
All right. I'm so sorry. I didn't know we were getting a third person to join. Please forgive me.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just got back from the grocery store.
You're good. You're good.
We weren't quite sure who might be popping in or out, so just going with
yeah.
Random.
Right.
Conceivably have one more jumping on, but I haven't heard from him.
Yeah. All right. My next question is, what is your music writing process like?
Kind of varies from song to song. Lately, Zach, our guitar player, has been bringing a lot of like riffs and arrangements to the band that we kind of flesh out based on his kind of ideas. But then there are songs that I bring to the table with lyrics and vocal melodies, and we kind of build stuff off of that. It kind of depends song to song, but it originates with an idea of some kind from someone, and then we bring it to practice and we play it together, and we start to work out a way to turn some kind of sketch into a song, and then I take it home and write lyrics and stuff to it. And it's a process that kind of varies from time to time, or from piece to piece.
Yeah, like I for the most part am like, I'm good at starting songs and like creating parts, but I kind of lack in that completion mode of like finalizing everything, which is great for me being in a band because I have 3 other guys to like help me see something through completely. And I generally come, like, at least with the stuff that I write for the band, I'll come at them with like some options as far as like the rhythms of it, or like the chords, just because, you know, everyone hears things differently, and it's nice to kind of flush everything out with all the options that we have. So
we also try things different ways. If something's not working, we'll try to rewrite it or change up the tempo or rhythms. So it's a band effort at this point, I guess. I mean, I did not play in the 4 songs on the EP, so I can't comment on that, but definitely it's a group effort.
There's 4 of us.
Speaking of the EP, I love the artwork for it. I get like a Looney Tunes vibe from it.
Yeah. It's definitely like inspired by those old classic cartoons. We were searching for artists, and a couple of people threw their name into the hat, and this girl, she goes by the name Loser Art, Louzer Art. She threw her name into the ring, and we looked at it, and she had done some kind of like old school cartoony drawings like that, and we were like, that's a really cool idea, like we should just run with that. And so we just kind of like, hey, do something with the movie theater, and she, you know, drew the thing up, and it came out awesome. I love that artwork.
It's same as like an old school cartoon head. I loved it. I'm like, this is definitely Looney Tunes based. I love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what was the message behind the first song? Like, what was the lyrical process behind that?
The first song on the EP?
Yeah.
Lyrically, it's about kind of about this band in a nutshell, and like my musical career in a nutshell, because I've had a constant problem, and Jeremy, our bass player, he's been right along with me with the same problem of just, it's hard to keep a band together. It's hard to get, you know, a group of people working on the same page and then keep that going for a long period of time. And so there's been a lot of turnover in all the bands that I've been in my life. And so the song was kind of about, you know, that feeling of getting to the point of like, all right, this is starting to work. We're starting to do cool things. We're starting to sound good together. And then somebody quits and you're starting over. And then this constant rotation and feeling like you're stuck in one place, spinning your wheels.
Yeah, there are a lot of bands I work with know how that feels. So when I'm working with them and they say that, I'm like, it must hurt. It must be a pain in the ass because you're trying to redo everything when someone leaves. You gotta get someone new in. I can imagine how frustrating that is.
Oh yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, you know, it takes months and months just to get to a point where a band is, you know, like really, you know, on the same page, and, you know, like the chemistry is really, you know, reached a maturity. Like, you know, Steve said he's been in the band like 3 months, and I think we're just starting to hit like our stride and starting to really like sound consistently tight and together. And that'll only get better as time goes on. And so it's so many months of effort and, you know, work trying to get something working. And then it seems like always right when it's starting to go well, something happens, you know, like when that EP came out February of last year. So literally like a week and a half before things started shutting down, all of our shows got canceled. We really didn't get to like promote that EP. So that's kind of, you know, the curse we've lived through over and over again. That's just the way it goes for us, I guess.
Yes, it's been hell for a lot of bands because of the pandemic. So I can understand that.
Yeah, it's coming around. The scene's coming back. Things are thriving pretty good where we are. We played a lot of shows over the past few months. There's a lot of things happening.
Nice.
So.
Where are you guys from?
We are based out of Worcester, Massachusetts. We play anywhere from Worcester to Boston. We go all over New England when people will let us. So yeah, we've been playing between Worcester and Boston. Playing a bunch of things. What's that?
We'll even go out to Springfield too. Don't forget.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I am a state next to you guys.
Where are you?
Connecticut. I'm in Connecticut.
Okay, we're playing Connecticut in February, I think.
What venue?
The Cellar on Treadwell. It's in Hamden, I think.
I'll have to write that down later because I want to attend. I have to go to that show.
Yeah, awesome, dude.
That'd be great.
Our neighbors to the south.
Yep. Actually, my twin goes to Springfield for college, so I'm like, I should just head up there when you guys do a show in Springfield.
We're doing that in February as well, actually.
Oh, nice. All right. My next question is, who would you love to collaborate with, whether you're doing an opening act or you're recording in the studio?
That changes by the day depending on who I'm listening to. But
I would love to record with Bill Stevenson.
Oh hell yeah, that would be sick.
Drummer from the Descendants, like at his studio. It's just like, you know, every record they've put out has been perfect, and all the bands that he's worked with sound phenomenal. That would just be like dream come true.
Recording with Roger Lima from Less Than Jake would be sick too. He has his own studio and he records all of their shit now, and it always sounds sick. I'd love to just like every album we get produced by a different like punk legend. Like, well, Feldy can do one, Mark Hoppus can do one. Let's do the whole rotation.
All right, Josh, make that happen.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Hey, you guys got to aim big. I can see it happening.
You never know.
You never know.
What about you? What about you two?
I don't really have anyone. I mean, like Josh said, yeah, Mark Hoppus or Tom DeLonge, even though he's kind of, I don't know if he's doing music right now, but those guys would be cool to just pick their brain a little bit and see how they work and what can they do for production and stuff. That might be interesting, but I don't have a huge list of people.
What about you, Jeremy?
I would love to work with Rancid. I'd love to get around, with those guys and and learn some stuff and play some shows with them. I think that'd be super cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. We should open for Rancid.
Maybe.
I'd pay to see it.
I'd pay to do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of live shows, you guys said you've done some in the most recent months, right?
Yeah, we.
Sorry, you finished.
Go ahead. Finish your question.
All right. What was some of the best experiences while doing shows?
We did a really cool show over the summer, like an outdoor beer garden place. That one was a lot of fun. The show out by Springfield that we did was our first show with Steve, and that one was a banger. That one was really fun. We did another one at a town in Lowell few weekends ago. That one was a packed house. That was a wicked fun show. We've had a lot of good times. Like seems like a lot of people have been waiting all this time to go out and see shows, and they're actually doing it. So there's been some good crowds.
Austin was fun too. The last one, the most recent one.
Yeah, that was a great bill. A lot of good bands that night.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, those first shows back were amazing because people were just dying to get out and see live music, and it was just so exciting to see those clubs packed. And I'm sure it wasn't because of us. I'm sure it was just because it'd been so long, but it was just so much fun to see them.
Oh, his mic turned off.
I think he might be struggling with his connection a little bit.
Yeah, I would say I'd agree with Josh with that. It was like this place called Hoochkies in Westfield. That was a lot of fun, and the other two bands that we played with were just like really excellent, and like Steve mentioned, also like that last show we played at O'Brien's in Alston was also just really fun. Even just playing aside, like the other bands that played that night were really excellent. I got to enjoy and like sit down and like watch them do their thing and get inspired, and then go up and do our thing. And that's the definition of a great show for me, is like the other bands that we play with play well, and then as a consequence, I want to play better, and just feed off that energy.
That's pretty much always the case. We very rarely play with a band where I'm like, we play with a lot of, good bands. Like there's a lot of great music out there.
Very fortunate.
For sure. That's why I always love going to shows, like dive bars, small festivals. Like I always love it because you never know who you're going to find. That's why I go to shows in the first place. It's not I know this band. No, I'm going to discover new bands too.
Mm-hmm.
Like recently I went to a dive bar and I saw a band I worked with on my show a while ago, and I got to meet them, hang out with other bands that were at the show, just actually interviewed two of those bands. But you never know who you're going to find at a show, which is why I love attending as many as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I love doing as many as I can, because even if you don't necessarily pack the house and play to a huge crowd, you're going to meet other bands. You know, like I can't tell you how many times we played with a band, and then I'm like, hey, you happen to be in the area that we're playing in 6 weeks, and I need a band. You want to do that one? And then you know, connections are forged, and more great shows down the line happen. Like, it's a great community. It's a great world to be a part of.
It really is, and that's why I love music. Like the community is just everyone's trying to help each other out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
It's such a beautiful thing.
it is. It was my heart.
Same. My next question is, what is the best piece of advice you could give to your listeners and fellow musicians?
To our listeners,
Keep listening.
keep listening. Yeah. Check out our new single. It's out next Friday.
High quality answer.
And play as much as you can. Try to write songs.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I would say for musicians, don't get like discouraged where you're at and who you're at, because at the end of the day, music is bigger than any one band or genre or song. You know, music's way bigger than we conceptualize it in our mind. And you know, I don't want to come off as like pretentious or like heady, but like in the grand scheme of music, like it's easy to get bogged down as a band and like, or as an artist and say, oh, you know, I'm such a small fish in a big pond and I'll never make it or do this or do that. And you really can't dwell on that. You just have to go out there and do the best you can, make the loudest sound you can. And hopefully someone hears it and likes it and wants you to keep doing it. And you feed off that and you keep doing it. And that's all you can really manage to do in the grand scheme of things. And I think that successful bands and musicians just feed into that like positivity rather than focusing on like those negatives that can eat away at your confidence. Just, you know, keep doing it. No matter who you are, where you're at, what you want to do, just go for it.
That was a beautiful answer.
It was. Amen to that.
Yeah, I think when we're like, especially when we were younger, I feel like we were, you know, just thinking about a goal and okay, this is what we want to achieve and everything. And I think you know, it's nice to have goals, but also, you know, you need to really enjoy the ride, which I think was what Josh was trying to say. You know, don't get too caught up in this or that, or you know, how many likes or you know, whatever's happening, you know, but just enjoy the ride, because that may be all there is. You know, maybe we'll get signed and we'll be big someday, but maybe not. So let's just enjoy, you know what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a great quote from this guy named Barney Kessel, who was like this really great jazz guitar player back in the day. And he said, music is not the most important thing. Humanity is the most important thing. Music is just a vehicle for that humanity. And when I heard that when I was, you know, 18 years old, I thought I understood it, but the older I get, the more that makes sense. And the more I find that true to myself. And that like music at its core, at its most basic function is to transmit and communicate our humanity to one another. And so if you're doing that, you're doing pretty good. Everything else is just extra.
That's right. That's why computers can't make music, right? Or any good music. Yeah. People try to program them, but anything good is going to be written by a human, someone expressing their pure emotion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that just made my evening, man.
Thought I could help.
I love responses like that. Like the most heartfelt shit is written by people, and when it comes to music, you find a lot of that in like rock and punk and metal. Like all genres can have it. Don't get me wrong. It's just I see that a lot in those three specific genres.
Yeah, absolutely.
My next question is, what is next for the band?
We got our single coming out next Friday, Battery Health, December 17th, available everywhere. We got a music video coming out right about that same time. We just shot it over the weekend. Hopefully be dropping that the same weekend or sometime the following week. We got a really big, really full calendar of shows in January and February, and perhaps even longer than that, see how things go. And we're hoping to get back into the studio again really soon and lay down another track that we can drop pretty soon. So the future is shows and dropping singles for the foreseeable future.
I cannot wait to hear those and watch that video when they drop. I'm really excited.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. I can't wait to see the final product. We had a lot of fun doing it.
All right. My last question of the night, and this one is a personal favorite of mine. Do you have any questions for me?
Are you a musician yourself, you said?
I want to be. I write lyrics as of right now, but that's about it. I'm trying to get a guitar and start playing.
Definitely do that.
Yeah.
But that's a great skill to have too. That's where I lack the most. I can't write lyrics.
What's the history of your podcast? Like, why'd you start doing it, and how long have you been doing it? Stuff.
Well, music got me out of a very deep suicidal depression. And I wanted to give back so badly. I just wanted to start helping artists as much as I could, so I started this up. My first video, I think, was January 19th of this year, so it hasn't been a full year yet. But awesome. I've been just going forward.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's a great cause to dedicate yourself to.
Oh, yeah. I regret nothing.
What's the best song you heard in the last month?
That's really hard. But if I have to say, fuck. You got me on that. Because okay, these things never come off my head. So I'm always like listening to music, whether it be older stuff, newer stuff. But if I had to choose like anything new that I listened to in the last month, fuck. I'm trying to think. It would have to be
new. It's just something that like new to you.
Yeah, new to me that I haven't heard yet. Yeah, probably "Maiden of Snow" from Scarlet Desire. That was a really good one.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, my friend sent it to me because he and I also have a friend who does this as well. And once a month we put radio broadcasts together where we play music from artists we featured on our podcasts. And that was one of the songs he brought to the table.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a fun little thing he and I do.
Nice. Can we get Battery Health on there?
For January, yeah, because we already have December's list set.
Yeah. But
for January, definitely.
Awesome.
We also go a step further. We let bands send in like radio signatures to play before their songs. We also do a lot of that. So bands send us that in. We play right before the track plays, and it makes it more lively. That's why I decided to do it, to make it interactive for the bands.
That was always something that I used to fantasize about when I was a kid. You'd hear those radio bumpers and like, hey, that's, Steven Tyler or whatever. Like, one day I'll do one of those.
Well, we do it. So if you want to, you guys can send one in. We'll do it for January.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yep. We usually do about 4 to 5 signatures per broadcast. We play about 20 to 30 songs, and we just go with it.
Nice. Is that for internet radio?
Yep. We do on Spotify and stuff like that. I'll send over links later.
Definitely. Yeah. Awesome.
Any other questions?
Anyone?
I came a little bit late. So what's the name of your podcast again?
First Listen Media.
Okay. Gotcha. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, we changed that up too because we used to be called something else because me and a bunch of friends did a bunch of pages together. And we wanted to connect it, so we used a term, like a different term to connect them all. But they stopped doing their parts, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna take my page, rebrand it, and just do my own thing. And I've been just doing that for the last month and a half.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm kind of glad I did the change because it's a lot better quality than what I used to have. But I got some good friends to thank for that. Anyone else?
Are you a coffee or a tea guy?
Coffee.
Hell yeah. Respect.
Just so random.
I am too, man. I fucking love coffee.
I love how we both love coffee. We have the same fucking name. Well, the same first name. Oh, that's great. Dude, I feel like a child in this chat.
Wait,
I'm only 23. Like I'm probably the youngest one in here.
Yeah. You will.
It's funny.
By a little bit.
Contrarily, we all feel like old men in this chat. So
you're fine.
Zach, do you like see yourself like ever getting into the YouTube game with this? Or
I already do. I already post on YouTube as well.
Oh,
what I do is I post the videos on YouTube and I put the audio up as podcasts.
Nice.
Because there are some funny things in video you cannot like see in the audio, so I post both.
Yeah, I think that's been one of like the silver linings of the whole pandemic situation is like a lot of musicians, and at least from what I noticed, like a lot of bands and musicians have gotten into like the podcast or the YouTube series game, and a lot of good ones out there. Definitely, every morning, a couple of hours just killing time with my coffee, watching like interviews like this, with bands or artists. I eat that stuff up.
We just did one. I posted episode 85, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. The guys I was working with, 3 of them were literally just having McDonald's and beer in one room, and the other guy was in another room on his mic, and I'm just like, oh my fucking God, this is hilarious. One time, in my older videos, my cat photobombed my screen. I'm like, oh, lovely. Yeah, we were having...
Like 10 minutes ago.
Aww. Oh, I love that. It's so cute. Yeah, I have 2 cats, so when I'm doing it, they're both like, what's this? I'm like, oh, get out of my camera screen.
Yeah. This is like my cat's favorite perch. What the hell was that? Oh.
Dude, cats are great.
Yeah, cats are cool.
Except when they're meowing at 3 a.m. telling you to get the fuck up.
Yeah.
I never understood why we have pets that only are awake at night. They're like nocturnal, like cats are nocturnal. Like, why do we have them as pets? It's crazy.
I agree with you a lot. Unfortunately for me, I have insomnia, so I'm always up late if I can't actually put myself to sleep. So it's like, at least I'm not bored. But yeah, I feel that.
My cat sleeps like 22 hours a day, so it doesn't bother me.
Mine sleep all day and play all night. I'm trying to sleep. I feel something hit me. I'm like, what the hell? I see them both just jump from their little pouch. I'm like, oh dear God, no, not in the face.
I'm pretty sure that's our band motto: sleep all day and play all night.
Oh, not so much anymore. I gotta sleep all day so that I can play like for a couple hours at night.
Oh, this has been great. This has been a lot of fun. I love doing these because you never know who you're gonna meet.
Yeah, you must meet some interesting characters.
Oh, very. There was one group who I'm never gonna work with again because they wanted to reschedule last minute, and I'm over here like, are you guys kidding me? Because here's the thing, they're in Australia, and 8 p.m. their time was 3 a.m. my time.
Yeah.
Oof. So I wake up, I get ready to go. I'm like, okay, we're good to go. We're gonna reschedule you. I'm like, it's 3 a.m. in the morning. Are you fucking kidding me? I never followed up. I'm like, no, I can't. I waited patiently for that.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. We did one last week with a guy that was in Scotland. And so I was like, hey, can we do it at like whatever time? And he's like, oh, that's like midnight my time. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't think of that. And he's like, oh, it's okay, I'll make it work. I've
done that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do one at midnight because the band was in LA. and they want to do it like 9 or some crap. I'm like, that's midnight my end. Screw it, we'll do it. And it went really well.
Sometimes you just gotta make do.
Yeah, I always try to make it. I try to make the times best for who I'm working with. Since due to the pandemic, I'm not exactly working right now, so I have plenty of time to kill. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, whenever works best for you guys, let me know, and then we'll do it. So that's what I do.
Oh yeah.
At least until I find something this weekends only. But
yeah,
for right now, all day, every day is open for me. Oh, sweet. Hi! I see the cat. She looks exactly like one of mine.
Yeah, this is a standard issue cat. Like everybody has a cat.
Standard issue. So
hey, Zach,
cute.
I got to take off and finish cooking dinner.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I was gonna wrap things up anyway because we have like 6 minutes left in this thing, and I'm gonna probably close it up before then.
Yeah. Good talking to you, man.
It was awesome meeting you guys.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you very much for having us on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely.
You all have a wonderful night.
You too. Take care.
We'll see you, man.